With a retirement and more, this is Wrestling Hub. My name is John and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. On After the Bell, Damian Priest talked about his experience working with Edge, being a part of the Judgment Day, and the evolution of his character. Man, what a wild year starting with Edge at last year's WrestleMania. First of all, it was awesome, just the comfort that came with working with, let's say, Edge at first, where he kind of instilled in me, and it's like, hey, this is to build you and make you the star that I know you can be, and then having Rhea Ripley come in, and that was the mentality, and just him getting us to be comfortable, and just being ourselves instead of being something that anybody else wanted us to be. And then obviously kicking him out of the group and Finn Balor joining and then Dominic Mysterio, and now we're all, I mean, it's crazy how we started. Judgment Day doesn't even look the same from when it started. We were still trying to find our way, and I think it was best case scenario for all of us to be in the group together because we all kind of helped each other. We all leaned on each other, and we still do. And today, I mean, you see the dynamic on TV, there's no faking. There's no how should I. It's so smooth, like we feel good every time. We're always joking around and laughing and like, man, this is great. This is the dream. This is what we wanted out of being in this business. You want to be proud of everything you do. You want to be happy with your performances. Every experience should be positive and together. Like I said, we lean on each other and we push each other to make sure that's the case, and going from, like I said, where we started, where we were trying to figure out even our look and how we were going to present ourselves, to now, who cares? We act the way we want to act. If I feel like acting like a goofball today, I will. If I want to be super serious today, I will. And there's no wrong answer. And I think we all are telling each other that, and reminding each other of that makes it so much easier. So that's the thing, is like, I felt like I had success, but I don't know, just something wasn't clicking, and I felt that I know that WWE Universe felt it and couldn't even explain it. And Edge approached me in with this idea. And being somebody who admired Edge before that, and I was a fan, and I appreciated all his advice to me, it wasn't so much having to swallow my pride. I was like, this has got to be the way. This is definitely going to work. I'm all in. I'll do whatever it takes. Let's do this. And going sitting under his learning tree. I mean, this business. I mean, talk about somebody who's born for this. And just the advice, like we almost talked just about every single day while we were in the Judgment Day together, where I would call him or he would just call me, and we would just talk about just ideas, or he'd be like, hey, so what do you think? Which I thought was also cool. He wanted to hear my opinions, and then him kind of putting that ball in my hands where I needed to be creative. I guess that also helped. It kept the creative juices flowing. And I was always trying to think of something new and something different, and how do we present this and that. And I think by the time it came time to getting the rest of the members in the Judgment Day, I was ready to just portray myself the way I wanted to and be comfortable in my own skin. So that was the case when I joined him. It was, I'm all in, and then going from that to then the boys and Rhea joining in to where we are now is wild, man. Touching on her previous departure from WWE, Trinity Fatu explained how this helped her marriage to Jimmy Uso, telling Forbes, really the family time. Like really being able to have quality family time and not have to really watch the clock or think about how many days I got home when I've got to get back on the road. And really just being able to focus on my marriage and my relationship away from the road. Like both of us not working and one of us being home to be able to take care of home. That's been a blessing. And yeah, just a new layer to our relationship and marriage. Because Trinity and her husband Jimmy Uso met at 21 in WWE Developmental, and so our whole life has been together on the road wrestling. So this is a whole new chapter of us not being on the road together, and it's been great. And of course I support the bloodline. I'm still watching every weekend, you know, still talking to the women from my locker room, and everything is good. Speaking about the upcoming AEW All-In event in London, Chris Jericho mentioned, I think All-In is aptly named because I think everybody in AEW, everybody in the world that's associated with AEW wants to be in Wembley. Who's going to be there? What are the big matches we're going to have? All I know is this. It's almost like the Super Bowl. You're going to want to go even if you don't know who's wrestling, because you know you're going to get a huge card with huge matches in a huge stadium. It's the perfect time for AEW to come to the UK when we're the most popular wrestling company in the country. After picking up the win at Backlash against Io Sky, Bianca Belair has made history, as WrestleOps noted. At 400 days, Bianca Belair has officially become the longest reigning Raw Women's Champion to date, and officially now the longest reigning WWE Women's Champion of the modern era. Revealing his reaction to the recent Backlash event, and more specifically Zelina Vega's entrance, Ricardo Rodriguez wrote, "Years ago, we did WWE TV in Mexico City, and I cannot begin to tell you how much that meant to me, to be representing our people. It may not mean a lot to many, but I legit shed a tear seeing Zelina Vega as she stood within hers. I felt that moment." Despite just having an event in Puerto Rico, Dave Meltzer noted on Wrestling Observer Radio that they probably won't be back for a while. The thing is, they're only going to come if they get paid, so that's up to how much the tourism board wants to pay. Usually, when it comes to this type of thing, generally speaking, if they want to bring you in, if the tourism board brings you in, they're not going to bring you in every year. They're going to use their money to bring in another act next year. It won't always be WWE. So yeah, for them to do a pay-per-view generally, and there's an exception, because when they go to London, they're not getting paid by a tourism board. They just feel like it's time to do it. Following his comeback at Backlash to help the LWO, Carlito said this about making future appearances for WWE to metro.co.uk. "Yeah, I'm open to whatever. Any good offer from anywhere, it doesn't matter. Thing is, nobody calls me, so I don't sit by the phone either. If something comes up, great. If not, I keep doing what I'm doing." During an interview with WrestleBinge, Chavo Guerrero said this about the WWE Hall of Fame, WWE rewrites. "And this is not a bitter thing, just saying what it is. They rewrite wrestling history to really benefit WWE. Let's say the NFL. The NFL, I don't care if a player is in a lawsuit with the NFL or there's an issue with the player. If that player is deserving of being in the Hall of Fame, they put him in the Hall of Fame. WWE will only put wrestlers in the Hall of Fame that they are still on good terms with. It's not like they're putting people, well, some people turn them down, of course, but WWE rewrites wrestling history a little bit to benefit them. That's just, everybody knows that. Anybody who's in the business kind of sees that." With him having been out of action from WWE due to a reported physical issue, Bray Wyatt was recently seen out with his wife, as well as Vlad Joseph and DJ Tommy Carluccia. It remains to be seen when Wyatt will make his return to programming. Speaking about Drew McIntyre, who is set to see his WWE contract expire at the end of the year, Teddy Long said this to Sportskeeda. "My opinion on it, I don't think he's going to go back to that title spot no more. You know what I mean? They did a lot with Drew McIntyre. He's been fantastic for them. Even myself had a chance to work with him too in storylines, when he was Vince's chosen one or something. I think that's what it was. If AEW wants to take him, I think he should go. That's a fresh start there. So maybe he's got a 2 or 3 year run right there. I don't know. That decision will be left to him, but what he can do is maybe talk and find out if there are any plans for him. If there's some plans for him down the line, then hang around and wait until it's time. But if they don't have nothing for you, there are no plans, then the writing's on the wall." Former WWE and Impact Wrestling star Kimber Lee took to social media to announce her retirement from pro wrestling, writing, "The goodbye that I thought would never come. The mistress that has overtaken my life for the past 15 years. At times, wrestling was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. I've been to places and I've gotten to see things that I never would have dreamed of in my lifetime. But at the same time, there comes a point in everyone's life where things just cannot continue in the same fashion that they have, because circumstances and goals evolve and change. I know that I am coming completely from left field for some of you, and that is understandable, as I've been rallying as if a comeback is on the way, but that is not the case. I have been deeply working on myself this past year, coming to terms with some very harsh realities, and learning a lot about myself and who I am in the process. I originally thought that this was just going to be a break from wrestling. Then after some time, I would be ready to put my heart into this again and come back better than I have ever been before. But the thing is, the more I think about it, the more I come to realize realize that my heart is not in this anymore. Kimber Lee brings me instant heartache and anxiety, not the butterflies and joy that once was. There are too many painful wounds that come with going back into this world, and I am not willing to give those wounds my power or dominion over my life anymore. With that being said, I will no longer be taking active bookings for the foreseeable future. Kimber is going to step away from the squared circle, and Kimber Lee Frankiel is going out into the world ready to become something amazing. I know I am being called into my healing abilities and will be continuing to step forward in that space, and I would love to have as many of you as I can along for that journey. When you close one door, you give yourself the opportunity to open up any new door you choose. I have lives to change and heal, and this is my first official step into my true self as the real me. Love you all so much, and with this, the princess takes her final bow. Let the curtain fall. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later.